Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of, what did I call it? Doug's Quickfire Questions, that's it. Today I'm here with Daniel Innis in Sheffield, and Daniel runs a few gigs in and around Sheffield. We'll talk about that at the end. He's got some fantastic rooms. At the minute we're in a place called Haggler's Corner. Now if you're from Sheffield or the Sheffield area and you haven't heard of Haggler's Corner, at the end I'm going to give you a little list of everything that goes on here, and honestly there's a lot of stuff goes on here. It's like a little independent run building with a lot of different stuff, from like barbers, tattooists, bars, food. There's a bit of everything, but I'll tell you about that at the end. This is basically a bucket full of quick fire questions. Some might be answered, some might not. And if you have got any other questions that you'd like to add to the bucket, just let me know in the comments, and if I like the questions, I'll add them to the bucket. So, without further ado, this is Daniel. Hello.
Hello, Doug.
Nice
to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me, by the way.
No, that's all right, mate. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I love this venue, and you had me here, I think it was a few years ago, I come up to do. In fact, is it still a bucket split?
It is, but we've also got some paid nights as well. But the bucket splits are immense, they really are. They range anything from 50 to 900 quid a piece.
Yeah, I think this was, for those of you that don't know how a bucket split works, is you come to do the night for free, and anyone that comes to watch the night, at the end of the night, if they've enjoyed it, they just throw money in the bucket. And I've been at bucket splits where I've got like £2.70 up to about 40 quid until I come and did this one, and I think I walked away with about between 50 and 70 quid. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it was a bloody good bucket split. So if you are in Sheffield, what nights do your nights run here?
It's the first Wednesday of every month. It has been now for the last, coming up to our fourth year.
Fourth year?
Yeah.
And you get really good numbers in here as
Get
well.
really good numbers, anything between 80 and 120 in. It's such a giving audience, which Sheffield has got that notoriety for having really giving, brilliant, savvy audiences.
Yeah. And this place as well, they do actually hire the venue out. I'm just going to spin the camera around a minute just to show you this room. This is what you can hire out. So it's a beautiful space. I mean, look at the ceiling there. It's lovely. There's a big courtyard outside, and like I say, they have a lot of things going on here. So I'll tell you all about that right at the end. So I haven't brought my watch with me, but we can look at the time there. It's coming up to 3 minutes now. So what's that? 3 minutes. So it's got to be 18 minutes will be the end of the quickfire questions.
Brilliant.
Yeah?
No problem.
So 3, 2, 1. Go. Right, look, we don't know what is coming out the bucket. It is all random, and here we go. So your first question is, if you could get rid of a thing from the planet, what would it be and why?
Donald Trump, very dangerous, very toxic. But you know what? It might not be a bad thing to keep him because it makes for great comedy material.
Yeah.
But he would be my first choice.
Yeah, he is. I think he's fucking comedy gold.
I do.
He's hilarious. Did you ever watch Kill Tony?
Yes.
Have you seen his? I can't remember the guy's name now.
Yes.
You know who I mean? Who does the Donald Trump
Yeah.
fucking impression? I think he's over here touring at the minute. It's the best Donald Trump impression I have ever seen. I did one of these last night, and the comedian I had on last night, he said cucumbers. And I was like, cucumbers? He went, yeah, and then paedophiles. Who'd have ever thought that cucumbers would come above paedophiles?
Now there's a deadly combo.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
Paedophiles with cucumbers. Yeah, get rid of them both.
Yes, yes.
I've just threw that question back in there, so if it comes out again, we will not answer it again because you've already done it. So, okay, let's go for question 2. Put my goggles back on because I am blind as fuck. Strange, interesting fact you know.
Strange, interesting fact that I know. Let me see. One of the strange, interesting facts that I know is that not all black men have big willies. That's what my ex used to say.
Yeah, do you know what? Do you know Griff?
Yes.
Griff actually mentions this in one of his jokes, and he said, Griff, I hope you don't mind me saying.
Hi, Griff, by the way.
Yeah, he does a joke where he has actually mentioned that, and he says he's got a little willy, and he says as well that once you go black, you'll never go black. Once you go black, you'll never go back. And he went, which is a load of bollocks because his ex-girlfriend has now got a ginger kid. Which I think is fantastic. That's like the polar opposite as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you noticed as well that a lot of black guys as well that seem to go for the whitest of the white women as well, like ginger women?
Yeah, those that have been snowbathing.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Snowbathing. Maybe it's because gingers are the craziest and they like a little bit of madness.
Yeah, there's a bit of an edge about the redhead, the ginger.
Yeah,
I used to go out with a redhead, and she was like absolutely crazy. Yeah. She could drink more than Paul Gascoigne, but yet she was so fiery that I didn't know whether I was coming or going. Not in the literal sense.
Yeah. Or in the literal sense. Yeah. Brilliant. I like that. Okay. So, I think I threw another one back in the bucket, but that's because I'm a fucking idiot. What fictional character would you like to be friends with, and why? Fictional.
Well, this is a great one because this goes with my comedy walk-on music. Okay. I'm a big Shaft fan.
Yeah.
Now, for those that don't know, when I say big Shaft fan, that's not porn, by the way. For you younger viewers, John Shaft happens to be the coolest black guy, apart from my dad, that ever lived. Yeah. And I walk onto the music to the Isaac Hayes theme tune. So I would love to sit down with John Shaft.
Yeah. And I've heard he's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Exactly. You know it. You're cool.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
So he would be that person. I think, God rest his soul, Richard Roundtree, who played him. What a performer. What a performance. Because I think we used to say about Shaft, he was sharper. No, he was as good as Bond and sharper than Bullet, which was Steve McQueen's character. Bullet. Yeah. So he was like that in between. But for us black dudes who were 70s children, you know what? He was the legend. He was the man.
He was your James Bond.
He was our James Bond. Blaxploitation.
Yeah, Blaxploitation.
That was what it was all about.
Oh, do you know what? I'm learning new words now as well. I fucking like that.
I'm adding to your vocabulary, Douglas.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah. Am I allowed to say it? It's not cultural appropriation.
No.
Are you letting me?
I'm letting you.
All right, thank you very much.
A, because you're a mate, and B, because you're a mate.
Yeah, sorry. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, let's go with the next one. Here we go. The next one is, what's the strangest thing you've ever seen in someone's house? Or what's the strangest thing you've ever seen? Something weird.
I went, and this is part of a gag actually, I went with my cousin to meet his new girlfriend's parents up in Carlisle. Now, if you've ever been to Carlisle, you'll only go once. And the strangest thing that I saw was a load of Viagra in the bathroom that I hope belonged to the father there. But it wasn't as though it was like concealed, it was just there. These big fuck off house bricks, 100ml Viagras.
Fucking hell.
He was proud. He was proud of it. And I think normally you'd conceal that shit, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He had it there, just next to the toilet itself, not hidden, just there.
Can you remember NTL?
Yes.
Used to be, right, Virgin Media now. I went round to a house years ago, and it was two police officers' houses. And in their son's bedroom, they had a picture of their mum in like lingerie.
Yeah.
And she was sitting there like that. And I just looked and thought, why would you have that picture in your son's bedroom? I mean, I think he was a little bit older, but it doesn't matter what age. Why would you have a picture of your mum in her lingerie? That's fucking strange, isn't it?
Was that in Carlisle?
It might have been, maybe. Although I will say, Carlisle's that place where, even though you're saying it's a bit of a weird place, I've found that England, like, we're very industrialised and very, like, I mean, it's different around here because you've got all the hills and everything, but as soon as you start to come further north, it's relaxing, isn't it? Yeah. But maybe I'll just bypass Carlisle because it's a bit weird.
Carlisle is our Texas.
Right, okay.
That's what I've always thought. Carlisle's our Texas. And for all those comedians from Carlisle who, or promoters that won't book me, well, I do like Carlisle really.
fucking some distance.
Yeah,
though,
it is.
Some
It's
distance.
a right trek.
Yeah. I've got a couple of gigs in Scotland this year as well.
Nice.
In fact, I've made a fuck up, right? Because I've took a gig. It's a garden gig in Gretna Green, and a week before I'd applied for a load of other spots. I put it in my diary, and obviously once it's there, it's set in stone. Next day, I got a message saying, "Yeah, do you want to come and do this festival on the Sunday?" So I'm in Gretna Green on the Saturday. I've got to drive from Gretna to the Jurassic Coast, which is the south coast, on the Sunday.
Not planning on getting married up there, are you?
Am I fucked? I've been engaged.
Your missus isn't going to that gig, I take it.
No. 27 years I've been engaged.
Wow, okay, that's
I ain't stupid.
Yeah, you're not in a rush.
No. Right, okay, next question. What do you typically do when you're bored?
It's very rare that I get bored, but if I do, on the odd occasions that I do get bored, I just usually just try and write some new stuff and write material and what have you, and just immerse myself in just doing just something that is creative.
Yeah.
Very
Comedy
creative.
does that to you, though, don't it? It makes you like. There is no. Like, because I've got in my day job at the minute, I'm on a site where it's like a 9-house site. There's hardly anything going on. It's boring, and I sit in my truck all day doing nothing. People say to me, "Aren't you getting bored doing that? This would bore me." And I'm like, "That's because you don't do what I do in the afterlife." Like, we're constantly looking for something to make a joke on, to make something funny. So,
I think, excuse me, especially with when COVID happened, comedy for a lot of us comedians was our salvation in a lot of ways, because we were doing stuff.
People.
Because we had that social interaction, albeit it was online.
Yeah.
We still had that kind of getaway, that kind of escapism.
I think the beauty of lockdown, if there was a beauty, something to find from it. The horrible thing about it was saying that we weren't classed as workers or key workers, and yet it was the entertainment industry that kept people going throughout lockdown. And I found that a lot of people that sort of like put their nose up, because I came from like doing online comedy into comedy, and a few people were like, because there was ways to do comedy before, but then what lockdown pushed a lot more people, a lot more comedians towards the internet, and they see then that it is a great tool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think the other thing with that is, I don't know if you found this, but doing online gigs during lockdown, I know that a few of my comedy friends found that their timing had gone a little bit when they went back to audiences, because you don't get the laughter like you would on a live performance.
I didn't enjoy them.
I didn't enjoy them, so I did more panel shows and stuff with people like the brilliant Alex Lean and Stuart Dunlop. Did a lot of panel shows, which was nice, because then there were quite a few of us all laughing. It was as near as damn it to a gig.
Yeah, I did 3. And then I knocked it on the head. One was a birthday, and that was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think that led me into a false sense of security, because when someone laughed, and they were from all over the country, when someone laughed, the camera panned onto them so I could see them. And then I interacted with them.
Brilliant.
Whereas the other 2, I didn't have that. One of them had total silence, so it was like I was just talking to myself. And I just thought, you know what? I'm knocking it on the head. And I've seen a few comedians as well saying, "Oh, when you say you've been going for 5 years, taking out the pandemic." I'm like, well, we did nothing in the pandemic. So
I hate it when people say that. We all did what we did, and it all counts as years being in the business. So,
but I look at that time as I wasn't doing stand-up, because we weren't standing on a stage telling jokes. So anyway, right, let's go for the next one. We've still got 5 minutes left.
Let's do it.
So next question is, what is it you keep wanting to smell even though you know it smells rank?
Okay, I'm not going to mention her name. And I'm not going to mention her name either. Right, okay, what is it? I think, do you know what? I as a kid, I used to love cigar smoke, because my dad was a cigar smoker. And I know a lot of people say it smells rank and stuff, but there was something about it, and I don't know if it was because it sort of was my dad who used to smoke Hamlet cigars.
Reminds you of
it. So it's not a great smell, but it's one of those that sort of you smell it and it brings back positive memories.
I like that.
Which is really, really good.
But
I think cigar. Again, well, I was talking to my other half about this. You don't really see a lot of pipe smokers these days. Pipe smoke is lovely. Pipe I like that.
Yeah.
And I saw a guy the other day as I was driving along, and he was at the junction, the traffic light, sorry, and he had a pipe, and it's like took me back a little bit then as well. Pipe smoke is lovely.
Like we were in the 50s.
Yeah.
Which in some ways was a great time, in others wasn't.
Correct.
Yeah, but let's not go into that.
Yes.
Anyway, next question. So, let's have a look here. What have we got? Oh, shit, the bed. Oh, this is a long one.
Oh.
There's 3 chickens to every human on Earth. If there was a chicken rebellion, how would you prep to fight off your 3?
I love that. It's a chicken rebellion. Well, I would probably get the spuds and the vegetables ready. And it would be a case of survival of the fittest. I would get the cooker on. I would make sure that everything's prepped. And if the rebellion happened, then
what if they come from you from all sides? Would you cook them up?
I need to smoke the shit that you're smoking.
I'm not, just to let you know, I'm not smoking anything.
No, you isn't.
I am a stoner, so it's all good. They know I'm a stoner, so.
And I'm supposed to be the black man here.
Stop stereotyping. It's not on.
Right, okay, so next question is,
Let's have a look. What inspirational quote changed the way you think or look at things?
I think my favourite quote is, why put off until tomorrow what you can do today? And I think that has inspired me to just go for things.
Yeah.
Because I think in life, without getting too deep here, Doug, I think in life we are better off regretting things you have done rather than the things you haven't done. In my dotage, I don't want to be in my rocking chair thinking, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done that. So why put off until tomorrow what you can do today?
That's how I got into comedy.
Yeah.
I wrote for years and I just didn't have the balls to do it. And then one day I thought, you're going to die regretting this. Just fucking go for it.
Yeah.
And I did. And, well,
regret
here we are.
the things you've done. Because at least then you can either learn from those experiences once you've done it, and it gives you some shit to talk about in your dotage, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Even though I haven't got a clue what dotage means.
In your old age.
Okay, all
in
right.
your old age.
Yeah, every day's a school day, Daniel.
Of course it is.
Right, okay, we've still got time for 2 more questions.
Yes.
So let's do it. What random superstition do you have?
Oh, this is brilliant. I have lucky talismans that I always carry around with me.
Okay.
And in the morning, just after I've got changed and prepped and everything, I always kiss the 2 lucky talismans. One's a guardian angel, and the other one is just a talismanic kind of, well, what is it? It's a silver coin.
Yeah.
And I kiss them both, put them in my pocket. I have never, ever gigged without them.
Right, okay.
So
What do you think would happen if you did?
I wouldn't like to think. I just wouldn't, I don't know.
Would you not do it just to see? Or are you happy
I'm too
keeping
scared.
it? Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what? I just think, look, it's all psychological, isn't it?
Of course it is.
And it's all psychosomatic. And I think at the end of the day, I think superstitions are great as long as they don't harm anybody else.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel good. Where you can put goodness out there.
Yeah.
Then there's no harm really.
I hope you don't mind. Well, it doesn't matter anyway because I'm saying it anyway. But I call them stupid stickums.
You haven't got any then?
Well, I say I haven't got any, but I have. Yeah, someone pulled one out of me the other day and went, "You've got a stupid stition," and I was like, "No!" But it is what it is.
But it's one of those things that you just do automatically. You don't think about it.
Yeah. So, you ready for your last question?
I'm ready for my last question, Mr. Carter.
Here we go. Let's see what the last question is. The last question is: if you could use telepathy to connect with anyone on Earth, everyone on Earth, what would you say?
It sounds a bit soft, but just be kind. Just be kind. There's a lot of hatred in the world, and if I had that power to actually influence a lot of people through telepathy, it would be kind, and also be funny. Because there's nothing better, as you know, as a fellow comic, than to make somebody or put a smile on somebody's face.
Laughter's the best medicine.
It really, really is. So I would just say, you know what, go around and just make someone smile. It doesn't have to be a gag. It might just be an act of kindness or brightness, but if it brings that smile to their face, That's what I would try and teleport.
Yeah, when I started doing the internet stuff, before I actually started a comedy page, I just used to make stupid, when we got like video phones, you know, when we stepped up from the Nokia 3210s, I just did stupid videos. If something come to my mind, I'd just do it. And the amount of times I've had people just message me going, I was having a terrible day today, and then I come across your video and it perked me up. And see that? That is worth more than money to me. I want money, but that is, you know, money isn't the be all and end all. Happiness is.
Do you know what? One of the nicest things that as being a promoter and a comedian is when you see, you've heard of Andy's Man Club? Yeah. So the Sheffield version of Andy's Man Club. They used to, and still a few of them still come to my Yellow Arch night. And when they came up and introduced themselves to me, I didn't know they were there at first. They did both, but then I didn't know who they were. They came up and said, "Do you know what, Daniel? That was an absolutely fantastic 2-3 hours of escapism. Thank you very much."
And I'm gonna not top you, but you've just reminded me of something. I did Rick Hulse runs a load of motorbike events. A lot of them are for disabled motorbikers, people that have like been damaged through motorcycling and stuff. And have you seen them pissers that you can use where 4 people stand up and they're outdoors? They look like a big massive lemon squeezer. So I've done my set, standing there having a piss, and the guy opposite me just clocked eyes with me, which I felt was weird. And he went, "Can I have a word with you?" I went, "Can I put my willy away?" And he went, yeah. So I give it a shake, put my willy away. And then went and had a chat with him, and he went, "My mum's in the latter stages of, she's coming close to death, basically." He says, "And all the time I've been here," he was there for the weekend, he says, "I haven't been able to get her out of my mind." He said, "For the 20 minutes while you were on stage," he says, "I got totally immersed in it, and I forgot about all the problems I had." He went, "And that was down to you." And I was like, "Is someone cutting onions?" It was just one of them lovely moments. So, Daniel, thank you very much for being on this.
Thank you very much for having me.
We haven't finished yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give your places a plug. So this is called Haggler's Corner. You run the gigs. You've already mentioned that at the start here, but you have got another gig. This one is, you've got like the open mic, the pay what you want, but you have got some pro nights here as well. Is there any socials that people can follow you on? Yeah,
you can follow me on Daniel Innis Comedian on Facebook, or alternatively, for you young bucks, on Instagram, Daniel Innis Comedy. You'll see all the nights on there. You'll see what's going on with these features. And also, if you can also follow Influential Comedy Limited, which is my company, online, on Facebook, email in. There's a lot of features on the website as well in terms of giveaways, hoodies, caps, everything to do with comedy. So, yeah.
In fact, I've seen on one of your lineups recently, you had Angelos Epithemiou on, didn't you?
Yes,
twice. I booked him a little while ago myself, and he tore the place apart. So he does get some really good comedians on. I'm not saying the other ones aren't good, but what I'm saying is from like grassroots level all the way up to top level. Now I'm going to tell you about, where's the other one? Yellow Arch.
I've got 5.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you? Well, go onto his page, and you'll find out about all the nights he runs, especially if you're from Sheffield or around Sheffield. But I'm going to tell you about this place because I asked the lady downstairs for a bit of paper and a pen, and I thought, why not plug the place as well? Because there's a courtyard outside. So in the summer, if you stand outside the front of this place, you would never know that it existed. So like, what is in here? And I'm going to tell you now what is in here. It's open from Tuesday to Sunday. There's a bar here open from Wednesday to Sunday. There's a cafe. Now, I went in the cafe while I was waiting for Daniel, and I had a mocha and a cheese croissant. Nice. And it was under £7. I think it was about £6.50. So it's cheap as chips. Well, cheap as croissants. So Gypsy Rose Hair Salon. Check this out for stuff under one roof. Gypsy Rose Hair Salon, specialising in curls and colours. A Mexican Mare pop-up, which is here till the end of May, which is a food place. There's Janky's Stabadashery. What a fucking name for a place. And that's a tattooist. Grub Records and Wine, where there's like a record seller if you're into your records and wine, so you can have a little bit of wine while flicking through some records. Bar Tack, which is the bar. Nails by Rosie. There's a piano teacher. Running with Scissors, which I don't recommend, which is a crowd.
That's a Craftworks place. Dr. Viper tattoos as well. So the two tattooists fight over who's coming to them. There's a florist here. Interesting fact, I'm a fully trained florist.
Nice.
You didn't know that, yeah? I can make a wicked handheld rose bouquet.
Brilliant. Available for weddings and funerals.
Yeah, I can make them cushions. I used to be able to make them. That's florist Emma, and there's a therapist, which most comedians need as well. And the place is called Haggler's Corner. You can find them on Instagram, and you can also find them on Facebook. So if you're from Sheffield and you haven't been here, honestly, come. The atmosphere is brilliant and it is so chilled out. The vibe is wicked. So,
really cool, isn't it? It's such a
oh,
cool,
mate, it's one of my favourite places to come to. It's just like, if don't come if you're a knob. It's not that sort of place. It's the sort of place where if you are a knob and you don't want to be a knob anymore, come here and
be
learn.
cleansed.
This place will cleanse you. It's just like it'll get rid of the knob in you. Yeah. So anyway, Daniel, thank you very much for being on.
Thank you so much, Mr. Carter.
That's all right.
Really
I'll have this.
appreciate
I've got a couple to do, and this is the first one that I haven't live streamed, so I'll be putting one out. It'll probably go out in about 20 minutes. So
fantastic. Thank you.
you very much.
Enjoyed it thoroughly, mate.
No, that's all right. And see you later. And like I say, if you've got any other questions, you want to put them in the bucket, put them in the comments, and we'll add them to the bucket. Ta-ra.
Have a great weekend.